I knit and I crochet a lot. Enjoy going for tea with my friends. We go to the one place and we call it the office because we think it sounds better to say we're going to the office rather than going out for a cup of tea. My name is Jan Barnes and I am 83 years old. Well, I grew up at Moosomin, Saskatchewan on a small farm until I was 15, and then I moved into town to finish grade 11 and 12. I was an only child, and I must say I was spoiled a bit. I was 4 years old, outside behind the house making mud pies, and my grandmother came out of the house and announced that she'd just heard on the radio that Canada went to war. My father's cousin Archie was 16 years old, and he enlisted right away, lied about his age, and 6 weeks later he was over in England. And my cousin Tom was in the Navy, and he said it was terrible on the North Atlantic because of the seasickness and whatnot. I was about 11 or 12. I collected crow's eggs and I had a trap line all the way to school and back. Had 6 gopher traps, and there was a bounty on gopher tails and crow's eggs, and I made extra money for myself collecting those. When I got my Shetland pony and learned to ride horseback, my father would not let me ride in a saddle. I had to ride bareback, so if I fell off, I would fall clear. After the war, I finished grade 12. My mother insisted I become a school teacher, and I didn't want to have any part of it because I'm not the type. So she sent me to university for a year, and I flunked out, took a business course, and became a secretary. And then I went out to live in Nanaimo, and there I became a legal secretary. And then I moved down to Olympia, Washington. And then I came back home and met up with a neighbor, you might say, that I'd gone out with several times when I was younger and whatnot, and we decided to get married, so I went back and packed my bags and came back to Canada, willingly. We got married on the 7th of April, 1959. Both sides of the family wanted a huge wedding, and we eloped. We moved away from the farm, ended up in Brandon with a grocery store, and the kids grew up living behind it and everything, and that's the time they really liked the best. There was kids all over the place. I had 6 children, and they had friends, and they weren't far from school, and they had a good school, and it was really good. We all had a great time. I think of most of the fellows I knew who lost their lives. One in particular, I didn't know him, but I knew his sisters. And I think of him on every Remembrance Day. And I always listened to the service from Ottawa on Remembrance Day. And we really take that in as a day that it is remembered. Let it not happen again.